Another legend of the world here tonight. Literally, not in an auto show, not on TV, not on film. Another legend.
That was the first street legal drag car that runs on ethanol. So Dodge did it yet again. They just unveiled the Challenger SRT Demon 170. Z06 who? Like seriously, like this is the car that I think everybody's gonna be talking about for a long time. And unfortunately, it's the last one of the era. If you did not attend the event that Dodge put on called The Last Call, it was one of the best, as you guys saw. You saw the takeoff for the car and you saw how they delivered it to the drag strip from a helicopter. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, it was a treat to be there. But what about this car makes it so special? So here's some of the specs that I found about the car. So the car does run on E85, which is where the name 170 comes from because of the 170 proof ethanol and fuel mixture. And this 6.2 liter V8 does make 1,025 horsepower, 4-digit horsepower from a factory car. Insane. 945 pound-feet of torque. In the comment section, I wonder what you guys think this car's gonna make after a few modifications. Now, you will notice that on the front of the car, it was missing the fender flares. And that was not by accident, obviously. It was because of weight saving, which is like about 16 pounds. And also aerodynamics. I think they said for the car going down the strip, it does affect it a little bit. Now, I'm gonna show you guys a quick clip here. I got invited to this by Demonology. He's one of the biggest demon owners out there. If you have not done so yet, if you are interested in any information on demons in the past in this car here, he is someone you're gonna 100% want to start following, because I know he's working on getting one of these cars, and he's built his car probably to go as fast as this new one has, and he's modified his car heavily. So if you have not done so yet, his channel is in the description. He did invite me out to the event, and yeah, I'm glad he did because I did not even know about it. Now, something else you're probably not gonna notice unless you were close to the car was the badge. I did notice that the badge was reworked and it did say 170 in it. And something about this engine is they did not modify the 6.2. The term that I kept hearing was it was heavily altered. So what that means is it's only sharing the camshaft with the previous engine. They are using a larger supercharger, so it was a 3-liter supercharger. I believe the one that it replaced, I believe it was 2.7. I don't know for sure, I would have to go back and look, but I believe it was 2.7 on the previous Demon. And of course, the engine internals have gotten a huge upgrade. So of course, new pistons, rod bearings, cylinder heads can now handle up to 2,500 PSIs. And the driveline has been updated and is now 53% stronger. So Dodge didn't just modify this car, they literally took it and redid it. And I want to say that they went over budget to make this car stronger, because they did blow up some engines along the way because of the extra power that this thing was putting out. I'm actually surprised they did not try to use the elephant, because that was a big deal back in the day, and a lot of people wanted to see that engine in the new latest and greatest Challenger. But of course, this engine is probably even better than that one. So let's finish up here, because I want to go over a lot of stuff here. Well, not a lot, but I want to go over why I think this car is going to fail. And I know that's a big statement to make, especially from a nobody, but we're kind of already seeing it now. Like one of my friends just called me. We'll go through it in a second. Hold on, I want to get through this real quickly. So let's go through this. So Dodge is now using Mickey Thompson tires, and they are wrapped around 2-piece wheels, which are made of aluminum and carbon fiber. Also, you do not have to use the skinny that was on the Demon, because I remember they gave you a crate with that package, whatever, and then you could switch them off at the track. Well, now they're giving you a slightly wider front wheel and tire, so I believe it's a 245. And so now you can drive this car to the track, or you can take it on a road trip if you like. And there's an optional parachute, so there you go. So let's talk about this Dodge Challenger Demon 170, as they call it. In the times we live in today, we've seen some crazy yet stupid things happen. For example, Ram 1500 TRXs went for 50 grand over MSRP at dealers. On top of that, you have Dodge Durango Hellcat owners suing Dodge because they were told there'd only be 1 year of the Durango Hellcat, and that didn't happen. And now we have this low production Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170 that obviously everyone's going to want to get their hands on. So here's why I think this car is going to fail. Now, it's not going to fail in terms of sales and things like that. It's going to fail the true Dodge lovers. And here's why. Number one, Dodge is not making enough of these cars. Dodge has already said that they're going to make anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 of these cars for 1 year. And we're already pretty much 90 days into this year. Keep in mind, they made 3,300 Demons, and back then, no one really knew the actual value of the Dodge Demon. No one really knew. Today, everybody knows. And there's a lot of people who are gonna go out and try to get this car. So a lot of the true Dodge lovers, I should say, who already had Demons, never sold them, they're probably not gonna have a chance. Well, most of them are probably not gonna have a chance to go out and get a second one. And something that I heard at the event was, if you own a Dodge Demon now, you can actually get your same number ordered for your Demon. So if you had a 43 number in your VIN, you can get this car ordered with the 43 number, which is so cool. But my point is, people who love this car and want to use the car, take it to the drag strip, they're not gonna have a chance to get that car. The second issue is obvious. It's the dealer. We know that dealers, not all dealers, there are some great dealers out there, but we know that there are some dealers who are going to absolutely crack people over the skull. My estimate on markup is no less than 50 grand. No one's going to sell this car under $50,000. Now, a lot of people say that Tim Kuniskis at the event told them, oh yeah, you know, the dealers aren't gonna mark them up. We're gonna move those guys to the back of the line, and if we produce enough of the cars that people sell them at MSRP, then we'll just cut off the people who try to mark them up. Well, you have to understand something. Dealers are the most craftiest people in the world. I worked at dealers for a long time, and when it comes down to a specialty car, they're gonna make their money. I don't care how good of a relationship Dodge thinks they have with their dealers. A dealer's not gonna sell a Dodge Demon 170 at MSRP. They're not gonna do it. And I don't blame them, because you have to understand something. Like, they're only building this car for 1 year. This is the only time you're gonna have a chance to buy this car. It's the last signature car, it's the halo car for Dodge with an internal combustion engine. They're not gonna sell this car at MSRP. I don't care what Tim Kuniskis says. The only way I will believe that is if they decide to do it factory direct. That's when I'll believe it. And they really should. They should make it to where even the consumer can't sell the car. So my thinking is, when this car comes out, you better bet it's gonna be $50,000 over MSRP. And watch this. If you take $50,000 and then multiply that by 3,000 cars, that's $150 million. Now granted, that's spread out over the course of dealers, but I promise you this, It's gonna happen. No matter what the manufacturer says, the only way they can stop it is if they do this car factory direct, which they should. My last and final point is the dealers are not the problem alone, it's the consumer too. I first experienced consumers being horrible when I started to see the Bronco. When I saw a Bronco going for $130,000, it was nothing special. It was just like a Sasquatch with 35s. I can't remember whatever the higher trim levels were with the 35s. It was a perfect color, it had the right roof, whatever, and it was going for 130 grand. That thing was probably only 70,000, if that much, at that time. But consumers are the biggest issue because a lot of people are gonna buy this car who can afford it. I mean, think of it like this. Someone who has millions and millions of dollars, they'll pay 50 grand over sticker because that's nothing to them. They can hold on to this car. And as I said, people who are true enthusiasts, people who are gonna take this car to the track, people who are gonna actually race the car, people who are gonna take it to car shows and let people have a chance to marvel at it, are not gonna have a chance to see these cars because the wealthy people are gonna take the opportunity away from them. It's just like in the housing market. Young people can't even get that first time buyer house because you have people bidding on the house still, even to this day. It's still going on, you know? And so wealthy people have the money, and I'm not against anybody wealthy. I'm just saying they have the opportunity to inflate these things so it's unattainable for people so they can get it. And they'll hold on to the car, they'll be in a warehouse, and you'll never see the car until 2-3 years when the car is now going for $300,000, which it will get to that point. It's the last Dodge. And I really think that Dodge should do something about it, which is why I'm making this video. I've owned a Dodge Charger Hellcat in the past, and I almost bought a second one, but you know, things happened and I didn't do it. But nevertheless, I would like to get an opportunity to buy this car if the opportunity comes, but I'm not gonna pay anything over MSRP for it. See you guys in the next video.